You know, every year we can expect it. It's just a question of where. The discussion and the debate about holiday decorations on public property, separation of church and state, or spirit of the season. The courts have said it's okay, so one rabbi wants to know why he can't put up an 8-foot menorah in Evergreen. He's been allowed to place the religious symbol in the same spot since 2005. 9 News reporter Kevin Torres joins us now from near Evergreen Parkway. And Kevin, the town of Evergreen says it's really not its decision here.
That's absolutely true, Kim. And you know what? The rabbi and several other folks who live in Evergreen, well, they are still not thrilled with that. And they have a special message for the mayor of Denver.
Evergreen is a wonderful community.
In a town that's plucked right from a holiday card, it's hard not to notice the bright bulbs bouncing around.
People are so warm, they're so friendly.
The same way the fishermen bob on the ice.
Hosting ice fishing to ice skating.
Speaking of the ice, patience is running thin out here for a local rabbi.
Well, let me go back a little bit to tell you exactly what happened.
You see, nearly every year since 2005, Rabbi Levi Bachman has posted a decorative menorah outside Evergreen's lake house to celebrate Hanukkah.
So it's obvious that we would like to go back and do what we did, the previous 4 years.
But this year, when he asked to do it again, a man named Steve Robson said no.
Unfortunately, I had to deny that request, as we would for any religious display, whether it be a nativity scene, menorah, or otherwise.
Steve is the Evergreen Park and Recreation Director and is in charge of implementing some of the area's ground rules. This ground, Steve says, is actually owned by the city and county of Denver.
This is one beautiful parcel that they've owned since the early 1900s.
And the city and county of Denver says the placement of a religious symbol upon its parcel is prohibited.
I'm extremely disappointed about it.
But the rabbi argues a local law was passed in Evergreen in 2006 exempting religious symbols such as menorahs from future laws.
Unfortunately, that piece of the policy is moot, and we really need to be equitable to all religious organizations in regards to those displays, and that's what we're trying to do here.
Steve says the board needs to revisit that law and set it straight. And the rabbi, well, he has a request for Denver's leaders.
I hope that the mayor of Denver listens to this and he comes and he says, I can't believe that us as a city have inserted ourselves into a local community which doesn't vote for us and has caused this kind of thing.
Well, 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 how ironic, some might say, seeing as how there is a nativity scene right outside of the city and county building in downtown Denver. The reason why that is allowed is because city and county leaders are exempt from the law and they can decide whether or not they want to put a scene such as a nativity scene or a menorah outside of one of their locations on their property. Of course, the nativity scene in downtown Denver has been in the courts for decades now, but at the end of the day, the courts, as well as most of the public opinion, have supported it. So that is why it is allowed to stay. Back here live out near Evergreen Parkway, well, the folks in Evergreen say that even if Denver decides that it says, well, you know what, you can have the menorah up, we apologize about this whole thing, Evergreen says that it probably won't allow it regardless because it has similar laws in effect to not allow religious symbols on properties such as that. So Kim, it is obviously a very, very emotional issue for a lot of folks out here, and we've seen this time and time again, but at the end of the day, Evergreen says that this likely will not be switched.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for telling us about it, Kevin. We'll stay on top of it.
Absolutely.